YouTube. This is your boy, Real to Real. And today I'm going to be changing out the seal on my toilet bowl tank. All right, so basically, a couple days ago I could hear it gurgling, but I'm tired. Okay, I'll fix it in a couple days. So last night I went to bed and I listened to that shit all night because I didn't get no sleep. So at about 4, after not being able to sleep all night, I told my wife, I said, shoot, I hadn't been to sleep yet. So, and I knew that Lowe's opened up at 6 o'clock. I told my wife, I said, shoot, I might as well get on up and go to Lowe's and get the part. So I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead on and get up. And so I got up about 6:15 and I went to Lowe's to get the part. So basically it's a seal, and the seal looks like this. It sits under the tank. The tank between here and here is that seal. All right, so to remove that seal, there's 3 bolts inside the tank. This is the tank. This is the tank. There's 3 bolts in there. 1, 2, 3. So first thing I got to do is turn the water off down here. Remove the line right here. And remove those 3 bolts that attaches the tank to the bowl. So stand by. Okay, one other thing. You probably need a screwdriver with a flat bit. And what kind of screw? Probably a 1/2 inch. I think it's a 1/2 inch. Let me check. I bought up here something else with it, but no 1/2 inch. It's either 7/16 or a 1/2 inch box wrench. So stand by as I take the tank off. So I started off removing this old part from the tank to replace, taking this out to replace the seal between the tank and the bowl. Well, guess what? If you look around, I'm in the garage all of a sudden. And I went and tried to get my big boy tools to remove the plastic nut that holds the tank level mechanism inside. The water level mechanism inside the tank. Well, lo and behold, I could not get it off, so I had to resort to some violence. I started out with this, went to my tools and I pulled out a Dremel. It worked for a little while, but the plastic was a little too thick. And then, so I had to go out and get some of my heavy duty tools. In this case, the combination of the Dremel and the Milwaukee, I was able to cut the nut off And in the process, screwed up the part that I was planning on keeping. Now, lo and behold, I was looking around in my plumbing supplies and I had one of these old ones from previously. So I decided to use it again. As you can see, I got it in there. Seal is replaced. And I've got some new stuff in there. Well, that one's old, but it still works. So stand by as I take it back upstairs to the second floor to reinstall it. Stand by. All right, so as you can see, I got the toilet back upstairs. Also, while I'm replacing these parts, I'm going to replace some of the washers, the rubber washers that keep them from leaking. These washers fit inside the bowl where you see 1, 2, and the third one right there. I put that one in there just to hold the tank on the bowl and so it wouldn't fall over. So this is what it looks like once it goes in there. Stand by. Also, if you notice, there's a red seal there also, so don't forget to put that red seal, or it may be black in some cases. The one that I had previously was black. This one is red. Don't forget to put that seal back. Stand by. All right, YouTube, I'm back. And I've just completed reinstalling the tank. I know it's a dirty job. You could you could save some money by doing it yourself, or you could pay somebody. So hopefully I'm helping somebody here. So a couple of things that I neglected to tell you previously, that when you preparing to work on your toilet, okay, turn your water off, flush the toilet. You need to get as much water out of the toilet as possible. So a couple of things I use that I keep laying around the house just for this reason. One is sponges. This sponge right here, I cut it so it's small enough to soak up the water, the small amount of water that's left after you flush the toilet. It fits in there perfectly, soaks up the water, and then you have your bucket, you squeeze it out in a bucket. 2, I use a bigger piece of foam sometimes to lay behind the toilet, so when you unscrew the various parts to it, where that water that seals for water, or where you disconnect the water that flows from the wall to the toilet, I set this under there, and the water that drips on there, it soaks it up. It's just a sponge that I had. You can buy a sponge from anywhere to do the same thing. Something else that comes with the parts from Lowe's or Ace Hardware or Home Depot. I prefer Lowe's simply because it gives you a military discount. But they're opening an Ace Hardware within 5 minutes from my house, which is going to be a big plus. Ace Hardware carries a lot more specialty items. Lowe's carry a lot of good stuff, but a lot of their hardware is like generic stuff. Ace Hardware is the place to go to get those things. Anyway, so this piece right here is what most of the parts come in packaged in from Lowe's or wherever you get it from. Notice this is all torn up. I cut it, but it fits, and it has a small tray in it. It fits perfectly behind the toilet to catch residual water. I didn't realize that until today. And I said, man, I need to sit something back there. So instead of running downstairs, getting paper towels and stuff like that, I cut this packaging material that the part came in, and I just set it behind the toilet, and it fits perfectly in there. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. I got all kind of life hacks laying around, tool hacks, stuff laying around. So, but I may keep this one. I may not. I don't know. So just remember that. So anytime you're replacing those parts, you can use that to catch the water. The tools that I used was a screwdriver with a flat head, tip, whatever you want to call it. I had a pair of adjustable pliers laying around. They adjust. Matter of fact, these are like 8-inch, I guess, or 10-inch, something like that. And then I had these big ones, probably, I think these are like 18-inch. I also got a pair of like 24 inches out there in my workshop. But these, they come in handy. The other tools I used was a 1/2-inch box wrench, or open end, same thing, and a 7/16 1/2-inch. I could have used this one to do both jobs, but I knew it was a 7/16 on there, so I grabbed it. And I prefer to use box end tools when available, or when they're able to be used, because they fit better and able to hold onto the nut better when you can get, once you get it on there. Sometimes, with an open end wrench, you have a hard time keeping it on there when you're working too. So I'm using a screwdriver on one side inside the toilet and a wrench on the outside underneath, so that once it gets tight, the entire hardware setup does not turn. And that includes the bolt itself, the washers, the rubber washer, flat washer, the second washer that's under the nut, and the nut. So these are the tools that I use. If you like my content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.